things are made from one, and in the end, all things return to one.
In other words, one is all.
Indeed, and all is one as well.
All is ultimately of the one. So if all is not included in the one, then all is nothing.
You have passed.
Y'all know what it is. Now's the vibrate. Wanted to bring up some symbols related to thunderstorms, you know, and how you can apply this not only to, you know, your quote-unquote dreams, but also when you're walking around in this realm, because, you know, seeing what we see with our two eyes is like a dense version of a dream world, you know what I'm saying? Things vibrate slower, so it takes it longer to manifest compared to like a lucid dream or a dream in general. But just starting off with a few symbols, you know, it could represent the balance of electricity and water in the body, you know. So, you know, it may be a symbol saying you need to balance these things out, or it may be a sign saying, hey, you have been balancing these things out. Also, you know, electricity represents, it's connected with the fire element, and in essence is also connected with the mind element. Not so much air in essence, but the mind from the perspective of, you know, and again, remembering that our subconscious mind, or our mind in general, all the operations of our mind is not necessarily coming from out of our brain. You know, it's not like, say for instance, like again, the analogy of if you cut my brain open, you know what I'm saying, or any brain open, I should say, if you cut a brain open, you know, you're not going to see that person's thoughts from opening their brain. You know what I'm saying? Like that is almost like the brain is like antenna or receiver in essence, you know, like something we could, you know, use to tune in, hence with even having the brain waves and certain vibrations and frequencies, you know, tapping us into a certain state through certain brain waves, you know. But you know, brain cognition, you know, is similar to lightning strikes, you know, how the electricity moves through the neurons, and it is said for the heart and the brain to have, you know, strong electrical currents running through it, you know. Hence why they do the whole little thing with the heart, which that may not be the best way, but in essence they get that from the fact that the heart does connect with electricity, you know, hence the pacemaker and stuff like that. But that's more of a, you know, artificial / lack of, you know, tapping into our powers way of doing it, you know, to each his own. But, you know, just realistically speaking, you know, gotta keep it real. But it could be that symbol between, again, that connection, so the brain synapses, and also the fire element in connection with the water in the body, and again, the water in the body. So also with the lightning, that's a, again, masculine perspective, if I didn't say so already. You know, again, fire, and then mental capacities, you know, it's more so the masculine aspect. And, you know, connecting with the water is the feminine aspect. You know, it has connection to memories, you know, and even though, you know, coincidence, we call our subconscious mind. So, you know, it will come off as it just being connected to the air element, you know, mental, but it's also connected to, you know, the water aspect. You know, I use that analogy breaking down the Truman Show in that old video I did on the Truman Show, and how in movies, you know, like a person being out on the water, you know, and the conditions of the water represents like the subconscious mind, you know. And at the end, when Truman realized it was a show, and he hopped in the boat and got in the water, you know, and the you know, and the personification of the people who was trying to keep him in the show, you know, spoiler alert, the people who was working behind the scenes filming the show, and, you know, basically, you know, in essence, narrating the show, you know, from the background. But that could represent, you know, programming that you're given, you know, from the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Like from parents, you know, again, before you could even distinguish what's truly you doing, what's in alignment with your soul, and what's subconscious programming from the earliest stages of your growth or even past life, you know. But again, like when Truman got on the water, or at first the waters was calm, but then when those people behind the scene, aka again those parts of the subconscious that's like programming, that's trying to control you or keep you in a box or keep you from, you know, transforming or expanding, so to speak, you know, they represented like trying to make that process tough on Truman. Hence they turned on the air, you know, which could represent the conscious mind, and the air started blowing so much, you know, it created like, you know, high waves and like turbulent waves that he had to go through, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, seeing that connection. So again, the water connecting with the subconscious and emotional capacities, and again, the feminine aspect, and also memory, you know. And it could be a symbol to tell, you know, again, whether it's in your dream or, you know, you see it externally, you know, it could represent what I was about to say to come to me, but with the whole aspect of it being a symbol, also remembering that, you know, symbols, you know, as much as you have characteristics of, again, lightning connecting to the male aspect, brain cognition, things of this nature, is also connected, you know, being aware of yourself and the connection or significance that a thunderstorm may have in your life, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might have got your first straight A report card when it was a thunderstorm. So, you know, a thunderstorm in a dream, or, you know, or quote unquote, you may see with your two eyes, represents it represents like having good grades, or, you know, educating yourself on something, you know, or remembering how, you know, that feeling when you got them straight A's, or just remembering that day in general, you know, but in some way, form, or fashion connected to that day where you got straight A's and it was a thunderstorm, you know. So again, that's one example. You could spread that out all kind of ways, but again, it having like implications connected to, you know, the masculine, the lightning, the feminine, the water. And I was gonna say also being a message to the collective, you know, so anybody in range of that thunderstorm, you know, that's a message in some way, form, or fashion. But again, it may be a little uniquely different depending on you, you know, and the significance of a thunderstorm, and, you know, and the situations you got going on, or should I say what you're experiencing. Situations sound like drama involved to some extent. I'm gonna say your experiences, you know, that you're having, it may be connected to that. But, you know, again, that's just, you know, different ways you could use, you know, the weather and seeing a message in, you know, natural things, you know what I'm saying? Again, like the weather, or like things in nature, you know what I'm saying? You know, like animal meanings, you know, tree meanings, all that, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. Now it's to vibrate. You know what it is, not too far in the future, not too far in the past, right now.